All right, so I got a couple of packages missing from UPS, so I just started building duplicates in case they don't show up. But I thought this is a great time to teach you guys real quick. So this is my standard 9.8. It's 9.8 inch diameter. This is based on the T.C.O.Z tooling. This used to be, the tool used to be 1 inch tall, but nobody really uses that anymore. And again, you don't, spacing the spiders doesn't really matter. The distance between the spider and the surround is really what matters. If you want to talk about, keep it from rocking and all that kind of stuff. So in spite of the videos that are out there, use some common sense, take an engineering class if they're free online. Anyways, so this is the lower to base 1 inch spacer. So, and then this is the lower to base 18 inch TI frame right now. And this is Scott's version, Scott Atwell at Phi. And it has the 135 and 155 millimeter patterns. And which is great because the new lower to base 400 ounce, which is this one, has both patterns, if I believe. No, it has 127 and then 130. So it has both of those patterns. But anyways, so what I did was I glued this on, I just lined it up, made sure that there was even spacing all the way around, and then put a gravity clamp on it, which is basically just another subwoofer, and then I use the spacers and stack it up so high so that I can clear the frame and then put a magnet on it or something, like other speaker. But I haven't seen any top clamps for these. I like to use a top clamp. And so what I do is I use mine, and then you just got this little nugget, which looks like probably right around 11 or 12 millimeter. And so you want to spread that open as wide as you can, and then put that in between. So, and then the whole thing's going to glue down. And what you want to do is don't put it in a place where you're going to put a bolt. So like here. So now if you're fancy pants like, Sundown, they use a steel ring. Or steel clamps, steel pieces, and then they clamp that down. So I'm just going to use plastic like this, and then I like to drill in between, directly in between the window so it's centered. You can see these ejection marks from the tooling. That can help line you up, and also the hole. So, and then what you want to do is drill straight down through the frame, and then I use number 6 32s socket heads with the socket coming up, and then I just use a little lock nut, which I get from AliExpress. I got to order a big box soon. This is just a little nylock nut that I put on top, and it looks pretty enough. You could actually order colors. Just you want to watch out for some of the colored ones are plastic, so they don't hold as well. But it's a non-critical sort of thing. So I don't know. It's up to you if you want to decorate your frame or whatever, the bolts that go on there. So the other one I wanted to talk to you about was duplication of other rings. So this is the Rockford T2 12 inch. Actually, it's the same on the 12 inch and the 15 inch, the older T2, silver face and black face. And so I don't like to use this one because I think it's a little short, and mine is shorter. This is probably what, half inch? Yeah, this is half inch, and then this is quarter inch, this guy. And so what I'm going to do is I made 2 rings for the tops of them because I actually used the thicker one. You can't really cut the one from lower to base and make it work like this. This is the original T.C.O.Z. This is 0.65 inches, and we have a ton of these, and we found the original vendor, the original tooling. So these are made in America. So are these. So, but what do you call it? So this is the one that I'm using now, and then you can see I did a gravity clamp on these. So what I did was I put that spacer in there so it's a little bit taller, and then what I'm going to do is use my it's not super soft. It should, like if you really wanted to go original Rockford, you would use something super soft. I would actually use, this one's a little tougher, but I think people kind of like that because it's a little, the FS ends up being in like the mid 30s. I prefer the low 30s, but being a little bit higher like that, sometimes people like that abuse and being able to abuse it. They're going to stick it in a big box anyway. So if you can get the, not those, the Lord of Bass ones that are just like 2-layer, these are good. And they got double leads. So, but what I do is I hardwire the dual 1 coils that we have, which are 60 millimeter tall instead of the original 40 millimeter. So for more excursion. And then I'm only going to use that top landing because that's really all you need. And that's going to give it more downstroke than original. So if you can get the original T.C.O.Z ones from Lord of Bass, these guys, these are actually soft enough of what I like. And then what you do is you use 2 of those. You just stack them. And then that way you can double up the leads. But this version would also work. I like it because it has the bigger leads. Just use 1 of these. That's all you'd need. So in fact, I'll probably use these. This is the 3-inch version. You can either trim it if he doesn't have the 4-inch version in stock. You probably got to trim it anyway because Rockford uses slightly oversized voice coils than the Chinese standard. I think it's some weird American standard. So, but yeah, that was it. Oh, I was thinking about what's her face, that chick cop that like got a train run on her. She was just fucking her friends, man. Like, I don't know why everybody's slut shaming her. What was it? She's gonna be famous on like, what do you call it? OnlyFans, and you're gonna pay to fucking jack off to her and have her say the N-word a bunch of times and all that kind of shit, and get, you know, big big black tree logs banging on her face. You guys are gonna love that shit. I don't know why you're fucking slut shaming her. Stop slut shaming her. She's a hard worker. She was protecting the peace. She was taking loads. She was helping guys. It's funny. I was thinking about why men. Well, first of all, why women. We were watching Big Mouth the other night, and they were talking about vagina shame, and why women carry so much shame. I don't know why, but I think it's just because some immature men who have a crush on girls, especially in macho culture. They often call it honorable culture, but it's not honorable at all. It's just macho culture, especially like Arab dudes. So like Arab dudes will complain that when a girl is showing her, I don't know, arms, you're making me jack off in public, you know, and it's like they get mad at her for looking sexy, and it's the dumbest thing in the world because he's the one, or, you know, he lives in a society that suppresses sexuality altogether, which is dumb. You should be embracing sexuality. Sexuality is what keeps the species going. Why there's so much shame around sex and things like that. And, you know, this girl is a keeper, man. That's why her dude's staying with her. Like, she's about to become rich. And, you know, he's going to be the guy in the corner jacking off while some bunch of black guys are fucking the shit out of her. And, you know, that's fine. A lot of guys are cucks. It's not a big deal. So, you know, you're going to be laughing whenever he's driving a fucking Ferrari and, you know, having a great life. So, and, you know, and they're going down to Jamaica and the islands to fuck a bunch of black dudes. Just stop doing that. You don't need to participate in that. Okay. So, but, you know, if anything, you're making her more famous, which, I mean, hopefully she doesn't, you know, take the shame literally from you, from those guys. I don't want to say you guys. She's not taking the shame literally. And hopefully she talks to a good money manager or has a good head on her shoulders and she turns this thing into a fucking moneymaker. So yeah, she likes to take loads. That's a good buddy. That's a good friend. Don't fucking shame her. When you find a girl like that, take care of her. I love you guys. Talk to you later.